Hey, what's up YouTube? Joe again from Grindhouse Grotto, and today I'm back with another beer review. Alright, before we get started, I just want to remind everybody that I'm going to stay tuned. I'm going to be doing a review of 1982's Slumber Party Massacre. Alright, so I went to my local grocery store today, and I picked up one of those, 6 packs of, you can just basically randomly pull whatever beer you want. So I've got 3 different beers that I grabbed, and I got 2 of each. And I'm going to be reviewing, now this is kind of a hard name to pronounce here, but this is Leaning Kugels, okay? And this is their Summer Shandy. So they even do like a little pronunciation of it. Leaning Kugels. And this is a Wisconsin beer. I've been reviewing a lot of local beers, and I've never seen this one before. I've never had it. It's a summer shandy. I'm really, interested at this time of year of drinking really light beers. During the wintertime, you drink a lot of dark, heavy beers, and, when it starts warming up, you don't want to feel like you're full and bloated. So I tend to lean to these ones. It's a Weiss beer brewed with honey and natural lemonade flavor. And it is 4.2%. Take a look at the back. Nothing on the back. Alright, let's go ahead and crack this open and get a little taste. Oh yeah, as soon as I popped the top off, I could smell the lemons coming from it. So this is gonna be good. Let's go ahead and pour a little bit out. Yeah, looks just like lemonade. Look at the color of that. I am so excited to have this. Let's try it out. Oh man, that is so good. Oh man. If you don't have this, if you have this in your area, you definitely need to pick it up. You will not be disappointed. Oh my god, this might be one of my favorite new beers to drink. So good. Yeah, this is really good. So the best way I can describe this is, it tastes, honestly, it tastes real light, like a Bud Light or, maybe like a Michelob Ultra. So it's really, really light. It's got like a little, just a real hint of honey in it. And then you also get a real subtle taste of lemonade in it. So it tastes like they just put like a little pinch of lemonade in it and just a little pinch of honey. But yeah, it's super, super smooth. Really refreshing tasting. Just an awesome beer. If you're not wanting to get overwhelmed and feel, bloated after drinking a few beers, this is definitely the way to go. And that's kind of what I was looking for. I get kind of sick of IPAs during the wintertime. That's kind of all I drink during the wintertime. And so I switch it up in the spring. And so that's what I picked up today. Yeah, these are two beers I have in front of me. I'm going to try them out tonight, and I might do a future review of these as well. So I got 2 of each. But yeah, that is Leaning Kugels Summer Shandy. Excellent beer. Alright guys, stay tuned for the second part of my video where I review 1982's Slumber Party Massacre. Alright, so let's talk about 1982's Slumber Party Massacre, okay? Now, I'm going to review this Blu-ray, but as far as the movie review goes, I'm not going to really give away too much of the plot. And the reason being is, this is one of those films where you need to see it on your own, okay? There's just so much that you lose in this film, the shock value and just the overall experience of watching this film for the first time. If I tell you too much about this movie, it's not going to be as fun to watch this movie. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk a little bit about what you can expect with this film. Okay, I'm going to talk a little bit about the production of the film, some of the commentary, some of the stuff on the film. But as far as the plot line goes, you need to go out and see this film. Okay, this is one of my favorite slasher films. It's got a lot of charm to it. Okay, but anyways, let's go ahead and dive into this Blu-ray release. This is came out about 2 years ago, released from Scream Factory. So we go ahead and just zoom in into this, so y'all can see this. That's the front cover art. Pretty cool. And that is the back. Now, this film is kind of gained a cult following over the years. It's got some sexual innuendo in this film, okay? So that's the first thing I'm going to kind of reveal about this film. And if we look at this cover art a little bit more closely, yeah, it's interesting, okay? It's got a male figure with a long power drill, and he's leaning over a group of women. Now, this is the sexual innuendo that I was kind of talking about. They tried to make it seem, in this cover art, like it was a man standing over a group of women with his genitalia, and the women are in fear. Okay? Now, a little bit of insight, a little bit of knowledge about this movie. This movie was directed by a woman who goes by the name of Amy Jones, and she was kind of handpicked by Roger Corman to direct this film. And her original take on this movie was she wanted to make it a parody of early 80s slasher films. So basically she saw all the slasher films. Now this is at the early part of the slasher boom. So, you know, we probably had, 1980, 81, and now it's 1982. So during that time period, there's already been a slew of movies that have come out. So this was kind of in the middle part of, from 1980 to 84. This was kind of at its peak, okay? And we had seen a lot of slasher movies released in that time period. So basically, every week it seemed like there was another slasher movie that was getting released. They were just pumping these things out. So her take on it was, how do we portray women in these slasher films? They're kind of naive. These movies portray women as weak and kind of just being stalked by these male killers. So Amy Jones, kind of being part of that feminist movement in the early 80s, she wanted to make a comedic parody of these early 80s slasher films. Now, Roger Corman, being the producer on this, he kind of put his 2 cents in it and said, look, this is what I want in my film. I want it to be over-the-top sleazy. I want it to be exploitative. I want all the key slasher elements to be in there. So basically what we get is this schlocky, over-the-top, sleazy slasher film, okay? And so that's what this film. That's what this film has a cult following for. Now, they knew exactly what they were getting into when they made this movie, okay? It was clearly directed for a male audience. Within the first 5 minutes of this film, we get treated to a very scandalous. The girl's getting out of bed. She just wakes up in the morning. She basically takes her nightgown off, gets completely naked, stares at herself in the mirror for a little bit. And that's the first thing we see in this movie. So we know already this is what we're getting ourselves into. Flash forward this movie about 15 minutes later, a group of high school basketball girls, playing basketball, and then they go into the shower room, and we get another very scandalous, you have to see it. Like I said, I don't want to spoil this film. Ridiculous, okay? But I think when they were making this film, they targeted men. This is what men wanted to watch. They wanted to see scantily clad women getting killed. This is the type of movie that a bunch of guys get together on a Friday night and watch this movie and drink beer together. That's pretty much this movie in a nutshell. Now, we got a pretty cool killer in this film. Like I said, He's got this really cool. We already know what it is on the cover. It's already revealed on the cover. He's got a really cool power drill with a really long drill bit, and that is his weapon of choice in this film. And I think it's really cool. Russ Thorn, the killer in this film, he does an excellent job, you know, as portraying this killer in the film. His creepiness in this is just crazy. Okay, so in this commentary in this Blu-ray, he talks about how he wanted to portray Russ Thorn, the killer in this film. So he comes from the classical, you know, classical filming background. He's, you know, he wanted to bring an animalistic approach to the killer. So he studied the way ostriches, the way they you know, hunt in these packs of other ostriches. And so when they're going around, they're hunched over and they're scanning in the wild. So he thought that would be a good way to portray his killer as kind of animalistic, you know, preying on the victim. At one point in the movie, he's basically grabbing the power drill and he's going like this and everything. So that kind of gives the whole sexual, you know, element to it. There's just little things like that are sprinkled into this film that kind of give it that creepy atmosphere. Yeah, it's just an awesome, overall incredible slasher film. Okay, this is easily in one of my top 10 slasher films of all time. That's pretty much it. Oh, I do want to go into the actual contents of this Blu-ray. I almost forgot. So, for this being a regular Scream Factory release, it's got quite a bit of special features. We get a new HD transfer from the original camera negative. Sleepless Nights, the making of the Slumber Party Massacre. Now, this is a pretty cool documentary. It's an interview with Amy Jones, the director, and she talks about what it was like being a woman filming a slasher film. She talks about other slasher movies from that time period, the Grindhouse films. Yeah, really cool, really insightful. Then we get an auto commentary with Amy Jones again, actors Michael Villela, so I'm sorry if I butchered that, and Deborah De Liso. And then we get the theatrical trailer. So yeah, this is a pretty good release. It's got a decent amount of special features. Picture quality is awesome. It's still retained a lot of the gritty, you know, the really grainy scenes in this film. But I definitely see the upgrade from the DVD, you know, the Roger Corman collection. If you had it on DVD, they definitely did an upgrade with this. But they kept in the film grain, which I think adds some charm to this film. Sound quality is awesome. All in all, I think this is a really solid release. It's definitely an upgrade from the DVD releases that we've gotten previously. If you don't have this film already and you like slasher films, you need to go pick this up, okay? This is like I said, this is a slasher film that I reach for very often. This movie spawned several sequels and then a whole nother series off of this film. So we get Slumber Party Massacre 2, and then we get Slumber Party Massacre 3. And then we get the Sorority House Massacre films. So this film right here is kind of like its own little subgenre. In my opinion, it's like a little subgenre inside of the slasher films. And it spawned many sequels that are very similar to this. I like all of those films. Yeah, you need to go check this film out, okay? I highly recommend it. If I were to scale it on a scale of 5 stars, I would give it 4.3. Okay, there's not a super heavy body count. If you're going into this film thinking that you're going to get killings left and right, there's maybe, I would say, 6 or 7 kills in this film. The kills are awesome. A lot of them are done off screen. I don't think we even really get too many actual scenes where we see the kill, but they're really, you know, when you see the makeup and special effects in this are awesome. So they did a lot of good makeup work. Even though a lot of the kills are off screen, you still, you know, you see the full effect of it. The only thing that I see is kind of a weakness to this is the pacing at times. There's a little bit of dialogue in here that kind of makes the film drag at times. But other than that, this is a really solid entry in the slasher genre. It's got a lot of good things to it. If you're a man, you're going to love this film. If you're a woman, I think you'll still enjoy it as well. But it's definitely targeted towards a male audience. But yeah, this is why I love Slumber Party Massacre, okay? Alright guys, if you enjoyed my review, please give me a thumbs up. drop me a comment in the comment section. Let me know what your thoughts are on this film. Do you like this film? Do you like the sequels? Do you like the beer that I've reviewed today? Alright? Awesome, awesome beer. You need to get this if you haven't gotten it before. Awesome beer. As a reminder, I'm still doing my 100 subscriber giveaway. So if you don't know already, I'm giving away 4 Blu-rays once I hit 100 subscribers. So you can go check out one of my previous videos for the full details. Alright guys, take it easy.